Okay. I am resident of Colorwood for YouTube. Joel Sings. It is my buddy Patrick McCray. This is my buddy Alan Gallant. We are here to review Welcome to the Dollhouse, directed by Todd Sullins, written by Todd Sullins, produced by Todd Sullins, cinematographer Randy
He
Gerber.
pronounces it Todd.
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 Music by Jill Wissoff. Production company Serbian Pictures. Let's see. Release dates September 10th, 1995, TIFF, which is the Toronto International Film Festival. May 24th, 1996, United States. Budget $800,000. Box office $5 million. Holy shit.
Did all right. Did all right.
Yes, it did. So, and by the way, I did listen to Siskel and Ebert's review of this. When did you guys first see this, Alan?
I saw it actually just yesterday, so that was my first exposure to it. I hadn't really heard much about these films until then, and I watched the Siskel and Ebert review, the full review. I found it as part of a full episode, I think. So they positively gushed over it, and I see why. It's real. It's an honest depiction of this point in a person's development. It's terrifying when you're going through it at times. Other times it's exhilarating, and that's what it shows in this movie. So,
yeah. Patrick, when did you first see this movie?
1995, 1996. When it would have gone from, what time of year did it open in 95?
May.
May. I may have seen it on that. It was a year after. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I was in graduate school at the time, and it floated the Vogue during the summer, and I caught it there. And it was the new It movie. We just knew it.
Yeah.
And the crowd, I saw it, 940 people, packed theater, and they loved it. They absolutely loved it. They found it much funnier than I think I do now, but it was in sympathy.
Yeah, and I think some of the funny is the music, the way the music comes into certain scenes.
Her frustration theme.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Dawn.
There's also the sappy theme that comes in when the mother is talking about, certain things.
The mother, an actress cast for her mouth.
Yes.
Knew it. The actress wisely knew it and was not ashamed of exploiting that.
No.
I first saw this yesterday myself. Really good film. Kind of reminds me of The Wonder Years a bit.
As I was saying earlier, she's got a harder edge than The Wonder Years. That's all.
Yeah, a bit.
But yeah, you're right. It's a coming of age film. There's no doubt about that. Or in the middle of coming of age.
Yeah.
It's definitely there. And with, the likely confusions of hormones and social missteps and fantasies about, other kids in romance and all this sort of thing. And it's just a ball of confusion as the
a real complete
as the temptations.
Confusion is the best word for this.
Yeah.
It's just the knowledge that important things are supposed to happen. We just don't quite know how they work.
Right.
And that to me is an earmark of a society at the epitome of its sophistication before you get the internet.
Mm-hmm.
Because if these people had the internet, they would know all of the mechanics of certain things.
And yet they would somehow avoid interaction.
Perhaps, yeah.
In some cases, anyway.
Yeah. Did you find out what happens to Lolita? Or does she just go away?
The
movie invests pretty heavily in her as a character early
on. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, there are other movies, so I don't know.
Yeah. No, I'm not talking to the actors. I'm talking to the character.
Oh.
It was sort of curious as to what happened to her.
Yeah.
She just stops being relevant to the kid.
Yep.
I already cut to the high point of the movie. Her
Yeah.
sister at one point in the movie is kidnapped, which she
Yes.
finds difficult to take very seriously. And there are two moments. There's one that we should find horrifying, but somehow through the alchemy of movie making, we see it from Dawn's point of view, and it's not. And that's
No.
when her mother flies into hysterics about the tutu. Her tutu was found in Times Square.
Yes.
And as horrific as that detail is, with
Yes.
all of the rapey implications and child murder and Adam's head floating in a pond, whole 9 yards, it somehow is it's very funny because
Yes.
we're savoring Dawn's quiet satisfaction.
Yes. And then she has this vision of
Oh my
rescuing
God, the
Dawn.
dream.
You know, the whole thing where she rescues Dawn, and of course it's like she's completely nonplussed. You know, Dawn runs back up the stairs after this guy takes her down into the bowels of the train station, and all of a sudden she runs back up again, and Dawn just is there, and she's like embraces her with this complete nonplussed, no real emotion going on. And then she's like on the phone, okay. And then she's back to reality again. She's on the phone and she's talking. And of course it's a 1995 phone. It's a pay phone. It's this whole thing where you're moored to the situation. And she's like, oh no, she's back. She's home. Yeah, basement of the guy, weirdo, blah blah, and all this sort of stuff. And it's like there's really no hysterics at all after between the kids. The kids are like, whatever. Is she dead? Nah, she's fine. That's all.
And that is the last gasp of Gen
Yeah,
X.
yeah,
That's a very Gen X way to deal with it.
yeah. Let's
What
cut to the
makes
chase. Is she dead? No, she's fine. Yeah.
what
Yeah, the
makes
light.
the daughter go like missing really funny is the dad laid up in bed being all
This is a really strange family. I mean, and you're
yeah,
seeing it from the point of view of the kids anyway, especially
hmm
Dawn. And
yeah.
they are just as weird as any parents can possibly be when you're 12 years old.
And when you're that age, I don't think I really suffered from it, but I think I did with a step parent or two. There's always the parent who wants to tear down the special friends club.
Uh-huh.
There's always the parent who is completely ineffectual, who understands it's a sin, it's a terrible thing, but can't bring themselves to say anything about it.
Right, right. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
grandparents all over.
Yeah.
I do remember in junior high school that about because I was in junior high about this time, 1996, that when in the rooms, like in the rooms I was in, my homeroom and the room I was in for classes, they had telephones in the room.
Sure.
So, and that's something this movie doesn't have, which I was shocked, which I was looking for. They had where the principal walked in. Again, they could have just been filming in a school that didn't have any. That's like in the room, you know what I mean? That's fine.
Yeah. See, when I was in school, they didn't have telephones in the rooms, but that was, that was
Right.
pre this time. It was 20 years before this.
We have that system that they have on ships with tubes that we spoke into. With that.
Yeah, we had
Oh,
soup cans every once in a while.
we also have
But
the
I will
message
tell
system.
you the college that I work at has phones in the classrooms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's for emergency purposes and for calling security or calling a maintenance or whatever. It's got that.
I would always arrange for someone to call me and breathe heavily into it.
Yeah.
And the student pick it up and say, "Oh, Mr. Craig's for you." What am
The
I?
weird thing is, I don't think any of the instructors or students ever use that phone because if they've got the emergency numbers in their handset, all they got to do is use that. It's almost quicker because it's right there in your pocket or whatever. So, but they do have them. They still have them. So, yeah, this was. I recognized a lot of weirdness, that sort of just off and uncomfortableness that you feel. And then you have this outburst of where you want something and you have this embarrassing outburst towards it because you don't know quite how to go about it, as you mentioned before. So you're not sly or diplomatic or sophisticated about any of it. So it's
Oh, Gretchen says passionately, is it Dawn? Is Dawn
go on.
says, so do you want me to lay down? Or,
Just,
in the junkyard.
yeah,
Horrible.
yeah. And of course, she falls in love with a guy that's a complete, just, he's a little shit, basically.
Well, yeah, well, two of them.
Yeah.
Two of them, the rock musician. And I remember at that
Well,
age.
he's older. He's completely out of, reach. She's just like fascinated with the idea of it. Does he like older? Does he like younger women?
Younger women. And there's this. I found at that age, I was completely baffled as to what actual ages were with older kids. I think I had some girl at the movie theater who had to be like 24, and I thought, well, maybe she's 15. I had no
no
like that was older.
I had an idea when I was in third grade and had a crush on my teacher. I mean, major, and she was probably 25 when I was 9. And of course, I didn't know the implications of that crush were completely non-sexual. I mean, it was just all
Demi thing.
Yeah. It's just this. Oh yeah, it's this feeling in my heart. Oh yeah, it's that kind of stuff, and that's kind of what happens in middle school. Is both of them war against and with each other. The hormonal and the emotional are just going all over the place, and it's just it's unfair. It really, especially when you throw a whole bunch of kids going through the same thing together.
One of the things that really struck me about this movie was the relentless and banal evil of middle school.
Yes,
I think
socially it is. It's an evil place.
Just like all of a sudden, everyone just turns evil.
Well, it starts at the beginning, though. I mean, they're bullying her all the time.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about.
Yeah,
and the dialogue.
I mean, to the absurd point, her locker is the only one that's like covered with insulting graffiti.
It's horrible. In a sea of pristine.
Yes,
she is safe to violate.
Yes.
Heather Matarazzo is so good. Her treatment of the barf table, the subtlety, it's very subtle about is she going to eat from it? And what I was really on the edge of my seat. You talk about suspense. That to me was suspense.
Sure.
And I felt horrible either way.
It's a major decision. By that time, anything like that becomes a major decision. We've already been sort of inured to that, what's happening. And it's like, oh my God,
the endless and almost magical recitation of the word faggot.
Yes, of course. And they do. Kids still, I'm sorry, even in this world of you shall not say, kids that age are completely saying anything and everything on the playground and in the cafeteria.
Are they still homophobes like that?
Some of them are, sure. I mean, it's been a while since I've taught that age, but it hadn't been that long. It was in the late aughts. And they were, I mean, it was casual homophobia. Like they didn't really know what it was. It's just like, it's that kind of stuff. And they would insult each other, not knowing who was gay or not at that age, 10, 12.
I'd say something, I get in a lot of trouble. Probably shouldn't. But it has to do with a certain word that is ugly and horrible. And that it was used so frequently in middle school that it ceased having any relation to the actual behavior it was describing, and instead just meant sort of a lame, ineffectual, kind of weaselly, backstabbing figure.
Okay, yeah.
And I'd have to work sometimes when my brain is in middle schoolian mode, because all those people are still with us.
Yes.
They're all inside. They're still with us.
Mhm.
To remind myself, no, that's a group. It's perfectly noble, and there's absolutely nothing having to do with
Right.
one's character at all. But middle school
No,
so burned itself in my mind.
because you're using it in a very banal way.
Yes, yes,
It's not pointed like it has become when we realize, oh, we may be actually, denigrating people and causing harm. Let's not do that. But when we're 9, 10, 12 years old, it's like you're flipping the bird, basically.
yeah, yeah, for no reason.
For no
That's the
reason,
other thing.
just to torment somebody, or be part of another group that's doing that. So you want to be part of the group, so you do it too.
Maybe you're
Uh,
old enough at that age to realize just how little power you have.
well, you don't, except in your little groups,
That's what I
and then
mean.
the power
That's
is
what I mean. And
enormous.
so, yeah, so words like that become your
Yeah,
power.
yeah, the power is enormous that way because it can be turned on you like a giant, cannon. It's like, oh, it's great when it's blowing the enemy up, but oh, somebody's turning it around. What's going on? And
Or
you
just when
get
it's
fired
blowing on
at.
me.
So I remember when I was in, oh my God, must have been sixth grade. We used to run around the school. We get our exercise by running in groups of kids and harassing other kids occasionally, but sometimes we were just dicking around. And I remember at one point, it might have been fifth grade actually. I think it was. We decided that we were going to have spit bombing runs. So we would run up to these other groups of kids and spit on them.
Oh
I
God.
mean, this is how
God, you're
insane
disgusting.
this is,
Jesus
but we
Christ.
were bonding. There were like four of us or five of us that were doing this, and of course we got caught and given hell. I mean, I don't remember getting detention or anything like that, but it was like we got caught, and they didn't know we'd been doing it for a while. They just thought we were doing it the one time, so they just stopped us or whatever.
I
But
have to
we
point out
were
something.
just little a-holes.
I have to point out something important. You know that ancient aliens guy with the crazy hair?
Yes, I know him.
Look at my head in this little box and look at how the shadow of Barnabas over it.
Yes, that's right.
It
It's
looked like the ancient
aliens.
alien guy. Or Sideshow Bob.
Yeah.
Then his Italian years. This is a
Yes. Yep.
well,
It's true. It's true. It was aliens. He's laughing at
I'm
you.
sorry.
That's right.
This is not film criticism. This is,
Uh,
this is recess.
Well, we're in middle school right now, so.
We really
uh,
are.
uh,
But
yeah, I
yeah,
remember.
we did stuff like that, and later on in junior high, we used to joust over girls we couldn't even possibly date. We talk about how no, she's gonna be my girl, and all this stuff, and we were just so awkward and terrible. We'd never go up to them. It was just the normal, absolute agony of being that age. And in some ways it was thrilling, but it was also agony, no doubt. And this movie really, I think, covers the bases really well in terms of that. You know, it can be very heartbreaking and serious, and other times it's just ridiculously absurd and hilarious. And that's kind of how life is when you're that age. That's how the hormones run. Up
It's
and down.
it's interesting because I have two other films that in the fullness of time I'm going to recommend as sort of this cycle. Is they hang together really well, and the next one deals with it's based on a comic book called Ghost World, and starring Scarlett Johansson and Thora Birch and Steve Buscemi, and it deals with characters much like Dawn,
Mm-hmm.
but just as they've graduated from high school,
Right.
and then the
So
last
that's another major transition in development.
yes, and
Yeah.
then the last one that's sort of the final part of that, which was just made a couple of years ago, is called Dinner in America, which is so good,
Yeah.
and it deals with a character like this around the age she should be graduating from college.
21.
Yeah,
Thereabout. Yeah.
yeah.
The age of majority, so to speak. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember in junior high, the first day of my junior high school, at the end of it, two kids tried to jump me. So, like, junior high school.
That's pleasant.
I
Yes,
bet you made
But
mincemeat
that
out of it.
stuff happens a lot
I
too. I
did. They ran
mean,
away from me.
Yeah,
Uh,
I bet. God, Jewel, you would have been the best friend to have had
from
back.
me. Uh, they ran away from me as I was punching one of them up against the bus.
Jewel, you're my
I
hero.
was pissed off because I
uh,
didn't even know who the hell they were.
yeah.
Yeah, my one victory in a physical bout was against a kid like that. The kid looked just like the little punk in the movie.
Yeah.
And, yeah,
Yeah.
there's just that look.
Yeah.
There's that look, and it all looked like stuck Farkas. And I was in third grade. This kid had been a kid in my second grade at the prior school I'd gone to, and he was an evil, evil, evil SOB. And to my horror, my father and his evil wife moved into a neighborhood where this kid was.
Mm.
And he found me. It was Halloween night, even though I'd gone to a new school. I was dressed like the angel of death. And my father would deny this. It's a hell of a story.
Yeah.
And the kid was just giving me hell. I don't remember what it was. My father's a peaceful guy, and it pissed him off. And that's my hand to God. My father said, "Hand me your bag of Halloween candy." And so I did. He said, "All right, I'm not giving this back to you until you beat up the kid." And he really kept coming. His name,
Yeah.
I won't say his last name. His first name is a name that I've never found with a good person, and that's Sean.
Sean.
Never met a good Sean in my life.
I've got a couple, but one of them happens to be my nephew. So
I can name his last
but
name.
yeah, we've all got somebody like that with that
Yeah.
name, that friggin' name.
Well, my second nemesis was named Sean McGurk.
Uh,
That's a villain's name.
sounds like a
But,
gangster's name.
this was Sean Meadows.
Yeah.
I defy you to find me now, Sean. Anyway, boy, that's a clear invitation to the dance. Hold on, here, knock the door. Anyway, so and Sean had it coming. I don't remember what he did, but he had it coming. And so I went up.
So you wanted that damn candy.
One of that candy. And I saw him at the door of this house, and they had just rung the doorbell, and the horrified parent had just opened the door. And as they were in the middle of the ritual, I think I tapped him on the shoulder, and he turned around
And popped it.
right in the basket, and he didn't know what the hell hit him. And I had him down. I was wailing at him. I'm sure I didn't put a scratch on him. I scared him.
You scared
him. Yeah, but
That's
that
enough.
was enough. That was actually the victory of the evening. I hate to say it, but there are just times in the life of a third grader what a man's got to do what a man's got to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
A little angel of death wailing away on top of him. Can they prove it was me? No.
Well, when I was in fourth grade, I remember having a rubber skull mask, and I did scare the shit out of a lot of kids.
Just had a rubber skull mask. He's part of it. Yeah.
Some of my favorite scene is obviously when she chooses not to give Missy the note, which is just hilarious.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, there's no middle finger, but there's basically a middle finger right there. It's like, nope.
Mm-hmm.
That's hilarious. What's some of you guys' favorite scenes?
Oh, the ultimate angst scene where she's laying about with the punk, and she's like, she really likes him a lot, but she's in love with the other kid, and so she has to tell him, and all the angst and piss offedness and gee whiz and everything else that goes on, and off.
And to her, it's a real relationship.
Yeah.
Commodity on the market.
Yeah. She actually is learning how to manipulate boys pretty well in this movie, even though she doesn't mean, she's just sort of being honest about it. She's confused, but she's learning how to juggle these guys.
She's going to be a force to be reckoned with in life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Patrick?
Oh my God. Well, I've named a bunch of them.
Yeah.
The dream sequence where she's rescuing her sister.
Yeah, that's fun.
So good. It's so good. Because it's a type of movie where there's a brief glimmer of a moment. You think, well, maybe this is legit. Maybe.
No, it
isn't.
It's a fever dream.
Yeah.
Plenty of those when you're 12.
Yeah. On the streets of New York.
Yes.
her little sister pushing her down in the pool was funny.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'll tell you that sequence though, where she's in New York. You really, as dumb as that is for her to do, at the same
Yeah.
time, you really admire her bravery.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, it could be just she's too inexperienced to know how much trouble she could be in. But my God, she has guts.
Yeah, she does. I give this movie a 10, guys. What do you guys give it?
Yeah. Absolutely.
It's
Absolutely.
fun.
It is. It is. It is in the pantheon of these sort of experiential coming up films, and it's also very unpretentious. You know, it's if it has any pretense at all, it's just in the trying to figure out how kids fantasize with the dream sequences and all that sort of stuff. But it's not really that pretentious. It's just presented so straight out, and the cinematography is that way as well, and everything is very very domestic. You know, there's the school, and then there's home, and then there's the little secret, places that they go.
If I'm not mistaken, his next movie is a film called Happiness.
Hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh boy. Good. It builds on this like there's no tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm sure it does. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot to build on from this movie for sure.
It's Alan's turn to pick.
It is. Okay, I got two picks. I want to move away from this a little bit, but still
Good. Right.
feel good category. I've got one of two, and you guys can decide. Iron Giant, which is obviously an animated film with a message, as well as relationships, and Wonder Boys, which is the Michael Douglas film from the early 2000s
Sure, with Tobey Maguire.
and Robert Downey Jr. And who else is in it? What's her name? Who was married to Tom Cruise is also in it.
Katie Holmes?
Yes, Katie
Okay.
Holmes. Yes, Katie Holmes is in it.
I thought Jim J. Bullock.
Yes, playing the love interest.
I'll tell you, I have a dark confession to make.
Yeah.
Iron Giant is a movie I've heard about a lot. I tried watching it, and it just could be because I was empathizing too much with a sour group of students.
Uh-huh.
Didn't land with me.
Okay.
And so that means one or two things. Either I need to see it again with a clear head, although that was just a few months ago, or Wonder Boys, which I've seen and I like. I think this is from the guy who wrote Cavalier and Clay. I think Michael Chabon, who writes for Star Trek.
Yeah.
I could do either. Jewel, it's a
Let's do Iron Giant. Why
let's
not?
do Iron Giant.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
I liked it too because I've seen the animated series, the Big O. If you've ever seen it on Adult Swim, it's really good. Not that it's anything to do with it. It's just I like it. So,
I think there's a free version of it on YouTube.
I think
Free
that's
with commercial.
like we're Cyrillic subtitles or something. Yeah. One of those.
Cyrillic subtitles.
It does. I really is so Cyrillic.
Oh my God! Link to Patrick McCray's Dark Shadows Daybook Unbound is going to be in the description box. Link to Alan Gallant's YouTube channel. Colin's Port After Dark will be in the description box. Oh, guys, did you ever try these?
Oh, S'moreos. I have
Yeah.
not yet tried them. Are they a real sugar rush?
They're good.
I'll tell you what, the Oreo Coke. I wish they'd bring it back.
Yeah.
It was a beloved beverage in my mouth.
Yeah.
Maybe one day, Patrick.
Nothing
Maybe one day.
like the taste of chalky chocolate, right?
That's it. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one.
Take care. Bye.
Yep. Bye.